Hey friend, Graham here from recordingrevolution.com, and today I want to show you how to get instant energy in your mix using Wave's C4 multiband compressor. Now, two things. One, multiband compression used to confuse the life out of me, and in some ways it still does, and I have ruined many a mix with a multiband compressor. I want to warn you that you can easily ruin a mix by just over compressing with multiple bands. What I'll show you today, I think, will give you a step-by-step method to actually use it strategically to help your mix. Second thing I want to say is I've learned this technique from the great Greg Wells, one of my favorite producers, super talented guy. Something he said about this technique is that it makes his mixes feel like they are a record. So it sort of gives them that extra polish. It's a subtle but powerful technique, and all it takes is a little bit of multiband compression on your master fader, and you can do it even at the end of a mix. So let me show you inside of my software how I'm using C4 to give some instant energy to my mix. All right, so what I have here is a mix that was pretty much already done, and I'm taking C4 and putting it at the very end, the last plug-in insert on my master fader or my mix bus. And I'm going to bypass it for now so you can just hear what the mix sounds like by itself.
All I need is a little bit more. All I need is a little bit more. And all I need is a little bit more of a little bit more of a little bit more. And all I need is.
All right. And what I want to do is just use C4 to give this mix a little bit more pop, a little bit more energy. So what I'm going to do is actually start with a preset that's really, really helpful for this trick. And so I'm going to load it up here. It is the multi-electro mastering preset. And to do this trick, I really only want to compress the two middle bands. So I'm going to ignore the low band and the top end band. And so to do that, I want to make sure that the threshold is all the way to the top is 0. That way there's no compression happening. And I also want to undo any gain boost that they've got here. There's a little bit of a gain boost on the top and the bottom frequency. Now, that leaves the two mid bands, which already have some kind of compression setting and a makeup gain setting. The goal here is to make sure that basically these are about the same volume going in and out of compression. And what I'm looking for is a little bit of gain reduction on the mid band and a little bit of gain reduction on the upper mid band. And then I want to make sure that it's not too quiet. I'm just bringing back up the volume. So let me solo this band and see when I bypass the compression if it's louder, quieter, about the same volume, and we'll see how much compression is happening from this preset.
All I need is a little bit more. All I need is a little bit more. And all I need is a little bit more of a little bit more of a little bit more. And all I need is just a little.
So actually, this is a little too quiet, so I'm going to bring up the output gain of this band a little bit more, see if that helps.
All I need is a little bit more. All I need is a little bit more. And all I need is a little bit more of a little bit more of a little bit more. And all I need is just a little bit more.
All right, a little bit better. Let's listen to this upper mid band here. That's fine for me. So now let's put it all together. Let's take a listen to what C4 is doing, just compressing the two middle bands and leaving the low end and the top end the same. I'll hit the big bypass button up here and we'll take a listen to what it's doing.
All I need is a little bit more. All I need is a little bit more. And all I need is a little bit more of a little bit more of a little bit more. And all I need is just a little bit more than I've been given. I don't believe in settling for what I
Very cool. So hopefully you heard on like the section with the toms seemed thicker and a little bigger. They jumped out of the speaker a bit more. And then when the rest of the band kicked in and the hook with C4 engaged, the mix just sounded more exciting. The snare jumped out a bit more. The vocals jumped out a bit more. It seemed like the first version without C4 was fine. It was balanced. I could hear everything fine. It was sonically okay, but with C4 engaged, even just a little bit of compression on just those two bands, it brought out life and energy. It kind of makes the mix jump out of the speakers a bit more. Let's back up to the tom section, and I'll start with it on, and when I take it away, you should notice some of the life disappear, and it seems like it goes from a little bit of three-dimensional mix to just sort of more flat.
All I need is a little bit more. All I need is a little bit more. And all I need is a little bit more of a little bit more of a little bit more. All I need is just a little bit more than I've been given. I don't believe in settling for what I am, and I could have all I imagine.
Very, very cool. It's a subtle trick. It's not going to make your mix come to life if you have no mix there at all, but it really will take a good mix, a well-balanced mix, and give it that last little bit of energy and what makes it jump out of the speakers. Like what Greg Wells said, it makes his songs feel like it's a record, and it's sort of an energy feeling thing, and you can do it beautifully here with C4. So the key would be go subtle, focus on the two mid bands, and make sure that your volume is about the same in and out of the plug-in, and experiment with some attack and release settings and see what makes it jump out of the speakers for you. Hope that helps. Again, Graham here from recordingrevolution.com. Check out the site for more free tutorials and training to help you get better mixes in your studio.